I believe that the Portland Trailblazers are on the come up. I believe that the Portland Trailblazers are for real. I believe that the Portland Trailblazers will make a big push after the All Star break. I believe that Chauncey Billups has emerged as one of the best coaches in the league by far, even at his young tenure. I believe that the Portland Trailblazers need to go ahead and move on from Dane. They've already moved on from CJ McCullough. I believe that the Portland Trailblazers have a good plan put into place because they are really cleaning house. I believe that the front office is making different moves. I believe that a guy like Anthony Simons is really taking advantage of his opportunity and he's getting his opportunity to shine right now. Anthony Simons is for real. I want to give a shout out to Ticket TV for putting this out here first. And Pro Basketball Update, if you haven't subbed to Ticket TV, definitely go sub to his channel. Uh, he's responsible for pretty much what you see a lot of guys doing right now in terms of their channel. Uh, Go ahead and pay homage to him because to me, in my opinion, he was one of the ones that kind of amplified everything, especially when you talk about the LDBC community basketball. Now, having said all of that, this team is for real. Yes, Anthony Simons is playing good, but we also have to take into account that Chauncey Billups is a coach that is grooming these young players and evolving them into the style of play that needs to be played. They are moving on from the hero ball era. That kind of game is not going to help you win championships. What's going to help you win championships is when you have a bunch of guys with no ego who move the ball around, who are able to stay within a team concept and everybody knows their role. Now, I'm going to tell you this, all right? A lot of people feel like Portland Portland is done. They're looking at them as whatever, sweeping them under the rug, just like they did a Cleveland, just like they did a Memphis, just like they did a Chicago, just like they did a Phoenix, just like they did a bunch of these teams in the past when they were down and out. You cannot do that to Portland. Portland is definitely going to strike back. Portland is definitely going to come with something even better in the near future. To say what it is, we can't really capitalize on it. But they do look happy. They do look like they are ready to move on with the game and CJ McCullough area. And like I said, I've already said this time and time again. I love Dame as a player. I like what he brings to the table. I think he's a phenomenal player. When you talk about a scorer under 6'5", he's one of the best to do it. However, his style of play is not conducive to winning. It's not going to get you over the hump. Just like a guy like James Harden, just like a guy such as, I don't know, can't really think off the top of my head right now. James Harden is probably the only one that I can think of that just dribble, dribble, dribble. Or a Luka Doncic. Yes, Luka Doncic. I would put Luka Doncic in that category. Now, Luka Doncic has played good as of late. He put up 49 yesterday, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, we're talking about over time, and we're talking about getting it done when it really matters, and you need to use your team. Now, the reason why Portland is going to make this push is because these guys are feeling like, okay, you're not paying attention to me. You're not giving our just due. You're not putting us on the radar. You're not giving us enough time to really evolve as players. You're not giving us, we're finally getting our time to get on the floor and make our presence felt. Well, these guys are capitalizing on that opportunity, and you see it happen. The one thing that I think was really I should say, game changer for the Portland Trailblazers was the fact that they went in there and they cleaned the front office. The front office was a mess, and they're making plenty more changes. And I think Chauncey Billups, eventually, I think he would like to make his way into the front office. I don't know if that'll happen, but I think that that would be a great thing to do in the grand scheme of things. Now, do they have a long way to go? Yes, but this is something there. They could possibly make their push and possibly get into the play-in. Possibly make their push and possibly get into the playoffs. Who knows? But I know that the Portland Trailblazers are to be taken seriously. That's why I do have them making that push, making a strong push. Everybody has to realize that when you're not really given an opportunity to shine, when nobody focuses on you, when you're the underdog, nobody's really looking your way, nobody's really, whatever and everything. And then when you sneak up on people and you surprise people, well, then guess what? That makes it more beneficial for you because during that stage, you're able to be more humble. You're able to be more consistent. You're able to make the best of that a great opportunity, such as what Giannis is doing. Giannis, even though he lost last night to Embiid, I'm not going to hold that against him. Embiid did outplay him, but nevertheless, he was still able to put up 32 and have 14 points with 9 rebounds. However, the thing about Giannis that makes him so special is that he remains humble. The thing about Giannis that you can argue about him, the reason why he is a superstar and is able to stay there is because he continues to have the same humble attitude and also hungry attitude. He remains hungry. The Portland Trailblazers, I believe that's what's going to happen. With the Cleveland Cavaliers, I believe that's what's going to happen. Even with Memphis, I believe that's what's going to happen. You see what's happening in Chicago. These guys are teams and forces to be reckoned with. Now, am I saying that Portland is up there just yet? No, but eventually, in time, they will. Listen, the NBA is trying to move on. I've told people this time and time again. Listen, I respect LeBron, love what he's done as a player. I think he's phenomenal, and he will also go down as one of the greats to do it. But it's time to move on. Hey, James Harden, they're trying to move on. You know, this is your last time. KD, man, while everything's been great, has a couple more years. But listen, these other guys are on the come up right now. And the NBA is evolving into something new. People want to see the ball move around. People don't want to see just one player dribble, dribble, dribble all day and make it happen. And then their team gets bounced out either in the first or second round. And that's what happened to Dame. Dame, look, he's great. He can wave bye-bye. Just like they talked about Russell Westbrook. They're trying to move on from, a guy like Russell Westbrook too. Case in point, they're trying to diminish his legacy right now all throughout social media and all throughout the media. You can really see that it's evident that they do not want to keep marketing for these guys. AD, the same thing. They're trying to move on, in my opinion, because how can you stay on the floor if you can never stay healthy? But nobody understands it. Everybody wants to see one player. Everybody wants to see just one superstar, whether they win or whether they lose. And that's not fair. The NBA wants to market good championship style competitive game, not a whole bunch of sorry about that. They don't want to see what people already would call as knowing what's going to happen. People want to see parity. People want to see the unexpected. People want to be surprised. People want to be shocked. Sort of like when Ja Morant was able to beat the Golden State Warriors in the play when they had Steph Curry. People like that type of stuff. Every time they see one player or one team year after year or whatever, unless they're truly playing a good style of basketball, people don't want to see that. People want to see young, fresh product on the floor that's able to keep the game moving and also without getting hurt every single game. And then next thing you know, their team stock just goes down. NBA does not want to see that anymore. Max Cook and Smoke Sport. I'll see you in the building. Make sure you go subscribe to the boy Matt Moses. He's very knowledgeable about the game of football. His team is the 49ers. His team is the Lakers. And he also is very knowledgeable about the game of basketball too as well. Go subscribe to the homie Matt Moses. Now, getting back to what I was saying, a lot of people have to understand that you can't put your faith and your focus on just one player all the time. This league is predicated on having many different players. At one time, the league and the NBA was all about marketing many different players, many different styles. It had a different style of game. Now, as some people would call it, the NBA, to a degree, has gotten watered down because you already know what's about to happen. You already know what's expected. You already know which player they're going to talk about. They're trying to move on from that. Listen, a lot of people have to understand that these young gunners that are coming out, these are wolves. These are snakes. These are savages. They are in savage mode. They're here to take your lunch. John Morant, he doesn't care about being friends. He doesn't care about who's in front of him. He doesn't care about who's looking at him. He doesn't care about what arena he's in. He's here to take your lunch. Giannis, he doesn't care about being friends. He doesn't care about marketability. He doesn't care about popularity. He doesn't care about what's trending. He wants to win. The same thing with Anthony Simon. He's new to it. They're just not talking about it. He doesn't care about marketability. He doesn't care about popularity. They want to win. They want to get their opportunity. And when the opportunity presents itself, you're supposed to take advantage of that opportunity. People don't understand that. Everybody wants to continue to keep on talking about one specific player. People are tired of that. People want to move on. People are ready to see a new brand of basketball. Listen, they moved on from other guys in the past. They moved on from Larry Bird. They moved on from Magic Johnson. They moved on from Will Chamberlain. They moved on from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. They moved on from MJ. They moved on from all the great players that you've seen in the past or whatever. It's no different from a guy such as LeBron James. And I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but they're trying to move on from Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard has not been able to take Portland where they need to go. Now, in defense of Dame, I will say this. There was a problem and friction with the front office not placing him with the pieces in which he wanted to do. There was kind of a little bit of a power struggle now. But Dame he chose to stay. I will give props to Dame for staying. However, he's going to have to stay within the team concept. Now, will they bump heads when I talk about Dame and some of the other guys on the team, such as Anthony Simon or a guy like Nurkic? They probably will. Because if Dame comes back and they start losing ball games, then they're going to be like, okay, Dame, you are the problem. And then what is that? What's going to happen? Then him and Chauncey Billups are likely to clash. Listen, Chauncey Billups is a winner, whether you like it or not. In my book, he is a Hall of Famer. Hey, first ballot, whatever ballot you want to put him on, he still deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. The reason why I mention that is because Chauncey Billups is a champion. Chauncey Billups played the point guard position at the highest degree. Chauncey Billups is a Finals MVP. Chauncey Billups knows about winning ball games. Okay, yes, he did it at, you know, playing one of the, well, I would say the hardest position to play on the floor, which is to be that floor general. Well, usually a lot of coaches are that are point guards are really good at being um, at that position at coaching. They're a lot of point guards are very good at being coaches because they pretty much understand what's going on in terms of every position on the floor. And then on top of that, a point guard is an extension of the coach on the floor. And sometimes the point guard can go against the grain and make their own decisions out there on the floor. Now, will that kind of cause a little bit of conflict? Yeah, absolutely. You know, a relationship between the coach and the point guard is extremely important. And that's why I feel like, you know, Dame Lilliard's relationship with Chauncey Billups has to be the best. Listen, we can say what we want. Chauncey Billups is a damn good coach. Hey, it took him a while to get started. There's a lot of stuff on his plate when he came. It was kind of unfair to him. And then on top of that, you had all of this scrutiny about him back in the day, the little situation that happened in Boston, in which, you know, we all know what the real reason was. You know, we all know that that didn't entirely fall on Chauncey Billups, but nevertheless, they tried to hold Chauncey back, and I think that he capitalized on this opportunity. Listen, one could argue that what Ima Udoka is doing is pretty good. Now that he has the pieces necessary to do what they need to do, hey, now they're winning. So we got to give Chauncey Billups his just due. We got to give him his flowers. It's not just a player. It's not just one single player, and it's not just the way that the players play. It all falls back on coaching too. Because keep in mind, they don't have their superstar. They just got rid of C.J. McCollum. So we have to take that into account. So y'all let me know what you think. I'm glad y'all pulled up today. Leave your comments, like the video, share it, subscribe.